Hello guys, this is Josiah on each one teach one. So today, as you can see, I just came up, I woke up, I couldn't sleep, man. What I heard that's going on in Burundi, I just couldn't sleep. Like, the Chinese people, they built a presidential plaza for the government of Burundi. They've been at it for the past 4 years, and I just found out that they just commissioned it to one of the ministers there. As a matter of fact, they moved the capital from Bujumbura to this new location after the Chinese people built that place. So now, the reason why I'm troubled and disturbed by it is because the only home for black people is Africa. And in the quest of the Chinese CCP party to supersede the United States of America and gain power by all means possible, the agenda is to take over Africa. They are doing a very good job with that because of the entitlement attitude to Africans that they everything should be free and they should be given things for free. But in the world of intelligence and in the world where the new era, everything will be digitized, there's nothing like free. And I'll give you an example of what I mean by that. So take, for example, an application that you want to download and put on your phone, right? This is a very practical analogy. It is just common sense. So the application, you get the application. They usually give it to you for free. Now, there is a business model or strategy where after using the application for some time, they really understand how you use it and the stuffs that you really need in that. And what they do, they use analytics to understand this, to gain this intelligence. Most of the time, they know you more than yourself. So with that being said, they now craft a strategy to monetize the product. Either they will ask you for subscription because they know you can't live without it, or they will charge you as you use it. Nevertheless, you're still gonna have the free freemium, as they call it. However, if you want to have most of the functions activated, you then have to buy the professional version or the enterprise version. That's the same system that the Chinese are applying. Now, they built a presidential plaza for Burundi. Burundi is a little country in Central Africa, and it's not that big. It's going to be another colony to the Chinese, just like Zambia had become. So this is what's making me upset. I'm really sad about it because the Chinese built this plaza, and of course, they have x-rayed the whole building, and they have put whatever they need to put on their bucks or whatever. How can somebody build a presidential plaza for you? It's like building the house for the man and his family, which in this case gives you the authority to come in as you please because you know the entrances and you know the weaknesses of the place. This is a setup for that nation, and this is terrible for the nationhood. Now, this is an edge that the Chinese are gaining all across Africa, and the Africans don't understand what's really going on. They think they're getting free stuff. No, you're not getting free stuff. Let me tell you something about free stuff. There's no lunch, free lunch. There is no lunch tagged free. Nothing is for free on this planet, especially in the world where capitalism runs everything, where you have money used in exchange for goods and services. Nothing is for free. Basically, what the Chinese are doing is they're getting an upper hand over the people of the land because what they built was for themselves and their people, not for the people of the land. Why do I say that? I say that because they built it. And in a land that they are invading, they are getting ready to take over. So therefore, they will build a stronghold for their people, knowing fully well that it's a part of the strategy. And sooner or later, those people will be enslaved, either economically or physically. Well, first it's going to be economically and later physically, after which they will exterminate the people or remove them from that land. Okay? So that's the point I'm trying to make, that this shouldn't be a joke to you guys. This should not be a joke. The Chinese are not joking. They're not there to be your friends. They have their interests at heart. Yes, they'll laugh and smile at you. Now, you must understand what's going on. They've had the hegemony. They're trying to take over Africa by invading it economically, giving you predatory loans, giving us predatory loans, I should say. Now, you have to recognize this and nip it in the bud. The support should not be given to any government that allows these people to come in and build stuff for them. The experience the continent had with the West is enough to teach us that it's wrong. Look at what is happening in Zambia. Okay, I woke up this morning, I'm learning that the Zambians have a group, a pose called Jaboras. That Jaboras go into the Chinese businesses, taking over. For example, they've gone to a mining facility, they want to take it over, and they are authoritative over there because there's no opportunity for the citizens of the land. And then the citizens of the land can't even get a job from the Chinese people because the Chinese people come with their own labor and their resources and everything. And there's nothing for the people of the land. This is a backward policy for the youths of the continent. These policies are laid down by the leaders who are myopic in thinking and understanding anything. They do not have any common sense. And now, enough about the leaders. What about the educated ones? What about the professors, the PhD holders, and so on and so forth who are of African descent? What are you guys doing? I don't care how you feel about what I'm about to say. I call some of these PhD holders and professors brainwashed educrats. Why? Because after they go to school and study and get educated and gain that knowledge that's needed, what do? They turn around and become gatekeepers of wherever they got that degree from. They don't realize the fact that there's a need to re-engineer the knowledge that they gain with the understanding that these changes over time and circumstances do change, to reverse engineer what they have learned, duplicate it amongst themselves. They fail to adapt. They fail to adopt and adapt winning strategies like the Chinese did. The Chinese learned from the West, took it back home, modified it and innovated, and become game changers in the field. So our educrats are busy quoting dead people as if they were morticians. You live in the land of the living. You should quote yourself, quote your people, and promote knowledge, not only from a particular group, but from other sources that need to be deemed relevant. They need to be deemed relevant. So there's a need to recognize the relevance in things that are not represented currently, not because they are not able, but because they are being marginalized. So I am upset over these people who wanted to be gatekeepers defending institutions that have given them a certificate or license to work, instead of reaching out to the poor folks who need their help, who depend on them, who look up to them for change. Education is changing to a large extent from what we know it to be. Today you have Google. Any fucking human being can study and learn anything they would like to learn. And they will be quite efficient in it if they put their heart into it. We need to reevaluate our circumstances and our situation and re-educate our people, making them understand that they can do this. Only things that are useful, only things that are used constantly become useful. Only those who are on a hot seat can think fast enough so that they don't get burnt. So it's time for you, the so-called educated people, whom I call brainwashed educrats, because they don't use what they've learned to help their people, the common people, the bottom line. So there's a need to help the bottom line, to teach the bottom line that they can do it. Not everybody can afford to spend 10 years in the university or 15 years in specialized education. Maybe it's not needed. The era we are moving into requires hands-on experience. Therefore, every person could possibly be a professional without being a lawyer or doctor. We have Information technology and engineering, it requires hands-on, learn directly from someone or through the system, like, virtual systems, using all these course platform or MOOC platforms that's all over the place. In a directed way, people can learn. The bottom liners should be notified and trained, educated, and at the same time be given the possibility or empower them to sustain, to fend for themselves, for sustenance, and to be able to support themselves. The youths are hungry and the youths are angry, and we cannot afford to allow them to languish in this agony all alone. There's a need to train them, to continue training them, making them understand that they can do it, forming teams and groups, various groups in various areas, information technology, cloud, artificial intelligence, robotics, AI, and you name it. There's a need to teach them the software development. There's a need to do software engineering. There's a need to get to the bottom of things in designing platforms that we need in the coming era or in the era to come. So this is not a joke. You can't be taking free stuff from people. It will not help you. These are Trojan horses. They are Trojan horses. You don't need these things. These are ways that they have crafted to make you dependent upon them and the system that they bring. There's a need to build a sustainable system, sustainable science, not a capitalistic science that takes away from the poor people, that does not serve the unserved. There's the need to reach out to the poor. The poor people are always going to be here. The poor people are in the majority. Therefore, anything that is done focusing on the poor people will yield benefits in the long run. So this is my message to every one of you. What I just said had nothing to do with organizations that I'm affiliated with. However, this is Josiah again from Each One, Teach One. This is a little piece of nugget that I got this morning. I am disgruntled. I'm not happy about it. And you youths should reevaluate and understand that free stuff cannot save you. Free things enslaves you. This is Josiah signing off. Take care. Bye for now.